What's going on, people? So, got a pair of shoes here, right? They were here in the last video, which may have been uploaded before this one. If not, will probably be uploaded after this. Well, I guess obviously those are the only two options, right? Whatever. So this right here is what we're talking about this time around, right? So there's going to be that for you, people who like to see the size of boxes. I mean, I'm sure someone has some value in that. I don't really get a whole lot out of it myself. It only takes 5 seconds out of my day. Well, yeah, maybe more technically, but you know what I'm saying. It's a 5-second clip. So either way, let's go ahead and jump on into this, right? Because I've done Foamposite reviews before. You kind of know what to expect. But for whatever reason, I told myself that I was actually going to do the full review for some odd reason. I guess because I haven't done one in a while. So get ready for that, right? Though there's really not even a lot to talk about. On this right here, this is the Nike Air Foamposite One, O-N-E, in the Light Orewood colorway. I stressed the one there because for some reason, when I did the unboxing, the live YouTube thing, I said Pro. Like, I don't know why my mind was thinking Pro. I don't even like the Pros, right? I have the one pair because it was cool looking and I like Marvel things. So like, oh yeah, Doctor Doom, cool. I don't think it has anything to do with Doctor Doom. But either way, I bought that pair, right? I rarely wear them because, again, I don't like the big swoosh on the side. But that one, that is the only one that I've seen and thought was worth my money. So I don't know how I made that confusement. But whatever, it is what it is. I don't think confusement's a word, but I already said it twice now. Confusement is not a word, but once you say it 3 times, it's part of the vocab. See how that goes? So either way, let's go ahead and jump on into it, people. Down there, across the bottom, what are you looking at? Standard outsole you see on pretty much all the Foamposites for the most part, but the color is what changes, right? So this, you got a little bit of a clear, opaque, sort of white nonsense thing, almost milky, right? It's actually a pretty decent look. I'll give them that. Moving on up here, midsole and whatever. So that, you see a lot of the same thing that you saw on the bottom, because that's kind of how these are built. And then on the outside piece here, you do have a little bit of that carbon fiber stuff, right? And then on the inside, there's some more of it. Yeah, see, there's that for you, right? But you probably saw that when I was showing you the pictures of the bottom of the shoe, so whatever. Here's some more pictures. So you're probably looking at this thinking, yeah, this is why he doesn't really need to do this full review. Like, I can see from these 2 shots everything I need to know about this shoe, right? And yeah, spoiler alert, you're right. There is going to be no real content in here that's going to like knock your socks off. You're just going to look at this and be like, oh, called it, right? But whatever, I'm still doing it because I said I was going to do it. So let's jump on in. Down here, toe box type area, right? It's all kind of the same, right? Normally, like, you'll see a toe box like this, right? Where it's like, oh, that's just only there, right? But this time around, it's that same stuff that you have going all throughout the rest of it. And I will say this. Normally these Foamposites, I should have kept that other pair over here. I just had a red pair out. Normally they're the nice, like, not silky, but like, it's a little smoother, right? Kind of glossy in a way, kind of plasticky, you know, it's got that whole feeling. This almost has like a matte finish sort of feel to it, right? Which is fine, it works for this color, you know. It was just not what I expected out of the box. But whatever. So you got that basically everywhere, right? That outer shell. And as you get around to the back, what are you looking at back there? You're looking at a 1 cent logo and a lot of like some sort of, it's not mesh or whatever, but you know, you got that other material going on around it. So that's going to be pretty alright. To the touch, I do like it. It's nice and soft, you know? Speaking of materials that make up this shoe, if you look around this lace area, we're going to start around the laces first, right? So you have leather lining this thing up. It doesn't have that sort of tumbled look like the red ones I was talking about, but it's fine. I think this is kind of better in my opinion, at least for this look, right? If they had the red style on here, I don't think it would work so great. Then as you look down at the bottom, you do have a little bit of branding down there with that Nike swoosh stitched on, right? Now let's jump over to these laces, because these laces, I have a thing or two to say about them. One, the first thing that I'll say is that they are flat. Standard laces on these things, I believe they're kind of like the Air Max Plus laces, in that they're a little bit round, a little bit flat, but like, you know, they just have a different sort of thing to them. These come off like something you would see on like a standard Air Max 90, I guess, maybe. You know, things of that nature, right? And when you look at like the lace tips and all that stuff, there's nothing really going on there. They're all blacked out all the way through, right? The second thing that I will say about these laces is that I do not like them in comparison to the other laces. Does it take away from the shoe? It does not. They still wear the same. They're still going to fit the same. Like, it's not doing anything. It's just like an aesthetic thing. And I'll only notice it when I happen to look down at them, which is, I guess, a lot. Because I often walk around like looking down. It's because I don't like to make eye contact with random people. So I'll probably see this a fair amount and I'll hate it a little bit every time. But it doesn't take away from the shoe. Not at all. It's just a thing I'm bringing up because maybe not everybody knows that. So maybe there is some content to this video after all. Moving along, behind here, looking at the tongue, as you see from the bottom all the way up to the top, it's just going to be your standard meshy stuff, right? Super comfortable, I do like that. And then in the middle, you have a same sort of stitching as they did with the swoosh. You have that white line. Then as you get to the top, you have another 1 cent logo up there, right? And some kind of like nubuck or suede type of thing going on around it. A little pull tab dealy at the top, so there's that. There's also a little pull tab dealy at the back, so there's that. And all in all, right, when you look on the inside, that's what we're doing next, you got all this mesh stuff, right, for this little inner sock liner sort of thing going on. So there's that piece happening, which sometimes when you have shoes like that, it does kind of like make them fit a little more snug or whatever. I was just talking about that with some shoe that I can't remember what it was right now, but whatever. I was doing my new shoes that I wore all through the month of May, and something had like the little sock liner. Was it those Jordan 8s maybe? I don't know. No, it was the Hirachis. It was definitely the Hirachis. But whatever. Doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. Actually it is. It's there. So not here. Either way, looking in there, let's get these laces out of the way real quick. Nike Air. Did you see that coming? Yeah, you probably did. There's not a lot of surprises on this shoe. And the rest of it is all blacked out. So there you go. There's that. I think we've covered everything as far as the visual component. So what I'm going to do next is talk about my personal thoughts. That's where I usually go after that. So sit back, people, and enjoy this. It's going to be me saying the same thing over and over for the next minute and a half or so, something like that. Personally, I like these a fair amount. Remember that. When I picked them up, I thought to myself, I don't want to pay full price for these, but they're not on sale and they do look kind of cool, so let's just get them, we'll talk about them, and we'll share it with the world, and maybe this will be useful to somebody. And so as I was looking at it, I was thinking, well, it's not anything amazing, but I do actually like these a fair amount. Like the more I look at it, it's a cool color, right? This whole off-white sort of deal going on. I like the way that looks. See, I'm saying the same thing again. I look over here, like the front piece, the lacing, not a huge fan of it, but it works fine, I mean, they're still going to lace up. It's not like they swapped out for like infinity laces, then I might have like some real feelings about it. But you still got all the mesh stuff on the tongue and like the leather on the side, so all in all, yeah, these things are looking pretty good, right? Now, is it going to be my favorite pair of Foamposites? No, it's not. Honestly, I don't even know. They might be in the... They could possibly be in the upper half. Nah, I don't know. They're probably at the top of the bottom half, right? Because they're not better than a lot of the things that I have, but I got no real complaints. I'm not even sure what all Foamposites I have right now. There's a good dozen of them or so. I might have to revisit that, but they're somewhere in the middle is where I'm going with that. I like them, saying that again, but I don't think they're super amazing. They're not like run out and give Nike $240 or however much they wanted. I mean, I did, but I'm just saying for you, like, don't necessarily do what I do, right? I know there's a little hypocritical sort of deal going on there. I get it, but I'm just saying, right? Not everything is worth full price, even though it might be pretty all right. So there's that for you. I don't think I have anything else left to say about how much I like these shoes and whatnot, right? Because I feel like I've put that out there enough. So I'm going to move on, do some sizing and stuff, then we'll be done, right? So let's knock that out. Sizing wise, I bought these in a 9.5, right? Now, actually, before I go getting into this, one thing I'll say. The sizing of the Foamposite One and the sizing of the Foamposite Pro, from what I'm told, is different. I can't speak on the Pros because, like I said, I don't care for them, so I don't really buy them. But just know, if you're looking at buying a pair of Foamposite Pros, make sure you're watching a Foamposite Pro video, okay? Moving on past that. True to size on these things right here is working out for me, right? There's not a whole lot of room in there, but the whole thing about the Foamposites is that they do mold to your foot if you wear it for a while, right? So you got that going on. So if you put them on and like they feel a little maybe too snug, it could be that. But it could also be that maybe like that just isn't the size for you. But just give it a second or whatever. See how it goes and, you know, whatever. Now past that, walking around in them, to me, it's not the greatest experience. I do like these a lot. They are overall comfortable, but I'm not a big fan of high top shoes and heavy shoes, and these are both of those things. So they feel a bit clunky to me, right? But I do still like wearing them. They make sense for a lot of weather, right? If it's raining or if it's like maybe cold and you want your feet to stay warm, right? You got that going on, or any other inclement weather. These are great for it, right? And because of the outer material, they're easy to clean off. If you're into cleaning your shoes or whatever, they should be easy to clean up, right? I would imagine. I've never had to deal with it other than minor scuffs on my yellow pair. So what I'm getting at here is like, while this may not always be the best look, they have a certain amount of functionality, which makes me want to wear them more often than certain other things. So that's something that you should maybe keep in the back of your mind if you're thinking about buying a pair of Foamposites. That could be a good selling point to it. And that's universal. The Pros and the Ones they both have that same outer shell. But yeah, all in all, it's a pretty decent wear. It's just not like something that I would go out of my way for. And then I say like, oh yeah, this is what I want to wear. Like, I wear them, but again, it's because they look kind of cool or whatever. If I was gonna go out there strictly for comfort in a day, something else probably. Not to say they're bad, just saying. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I've rambled on long enough. I did like a 40-minute live, 2 of these videos, 1 video about some Roosevelt shirts, which are very cool. Check that playlist out. You might see something you like. Talked about some Yeezy 700s. I still got to talk about this movie I just saw. Has anybody out there seen In a Violent Nature? Oh, it's not great. But yeah, go check it out so we can talk about how bad it was. So there's that. Later, people.